but really the most horrible thing for me was seeing myself in the senior picture. I'm in the front row, and I just totally stand out. I really don't like it. I'm the biggest girl in my grade, almost the biggest person, but definitely the biggest girl, and I just feel like I stick out. And one of the things that I feel like my weight has restricted me from the most in high school is playing volleyball. I love volleyball, and I'm really athletic, and I would have gone for the team, but I'm not going to wear those uniforms looking like this. And I just feel like I wouldn't have been able to keep up, and I just feel like the first thing people would think when they saw me is, oh, they have a fat girl on the team. And another thing that my weight has really held me back with is being in stuff like choir and theater, and I was briefly in color guard with the flags and the marching band, and I was really good at that, and I loved throwing those flags up in the air. I felt really cool that I could do that, but for all those things, I felt too embarrassed to do it because of like costume fittings, and then also going up on the stage and being the only one my size. And I'm actually a really good singer, and I love to sing, and I think choir would have really made me happy, but I just couldn't get over myself to do it, so. Another one of the most embarrassing things in school is I've never been able to run the mile. Freshman year was the only year I ever had to do it, but I mean every week or so we'd have to, my gym class would have to go out and run the mile, and you were expected to do it in 8 minutes, and I'd only ever make it 3 laps around, and doing that I'd have to walk most of it. I'd kind of jog, and I'd jog a little bit, then I'd have to walk, and I mean, it would take me 15 minutes to do that, and everyone is sitting in the grass, and luckily I had friends who would still jog with me, but I was always last, and I always felt like I was being looked at. When I look in the mirror, I really don't see myself. For one thing, I know I look big to myself, but then if I see myself in a picture someone took when I wasn't looking, or just in pictures in general, I'm like, how can that be me? How can I really be that big? I don't feel that big. And do other people see me that big, or do I just look big to me? And I really don't see myself like that, and I don't feel like that either. Life too hard. I love life, but it's hard in the sense that I feel like I just don't keep up with the world. I feel like the world is moving, and I'm like, hey, wait, let me catch up, wait for me, and I feel uncomfortable in my clothes, and that's just the best word and general sensation, is just being uncomfortable. I think I'm overweight for a lot of reasons, but I think the reason I didn't stop it growing up was that all my major female roles in my life are overweight. My mom, who is my best friend in the whole world, and quite honestly, I hope I can be even close to as an amazing person as she is when I'm an adult. And I think even still, I look at her as perfect. She is the most perfect person in my eyes, and and I guess in my mind, subconsciously and stuff, since I want to be so much like her, my body even turned in that direction. And because my sister, my aunt, who I'm really close with, she's overweight, and my grandma, before she passed away a couple years ago at 86, she was kind of overweight too, and just they're the women I look up to most, and I think just subconsciously my mind and body was like, okay, you're gonna be like them. Unfortunately, I think I eat most in the evenings, which I know is bad, and my eating habits are, like, in the sense of healthiness, I think they're pretty good, but habit-wise, they're horrible. I mean, I never eat breakfast. I have to get up for school at 6 in the morning, and I just don't feel like putting the effort into eating in the morning. And then even eating like a bar or something, I just don't tend to do it. And then at school, I mean, my friends and I, we tend to go get Starbucks, and I get a soy chai, and then I'll often buy like a little pack of sushi, or I go to Taco Bell, because I feel it's kind of healthier, even though it's fast food, and it's so inexpensive, and especially for me, that's kind of key, and just to be able to get a pretty good amount of food for like $3 or something, it's easy. So I'll eat like a big bowl of pasta at like 10 at night, and which is really bad, but not even into class, just when I walk up to school. When I'm walking up to school on my first day, I want to feel great about myself. I mean, whenever I go to college interviews, even in the back of my head, I'm like, they're gonna look at me as the fat girl or the big girl or whatever, and it's gonna be part of how they remember me, and I don't want to be remembered like that. I don't think I'm like striking, I guess, and I think that when I'm thin, I'm just gonna feel so beautiful inside and out, and that's something I want. I want to just feel beautiful. Not beautiful, but I just want to feel beautiful completely, and I want to walk up breathing well and shining, and I just want to be all that I want to be without having the restriction of my weight. And I want to be able to become whatever I want without being stuck behind or in my weight. The things my weight has really held me back on that I would really have loved to do with my life, there are a few main things. Is belly dancing. Oh my god, I love belly dancing. I started when I was 8 years old, to it so bad. I mean, I want it to be one of the things I'm known for. I want to go to festivals. I want to be in performances. I even want to teach. Like, I love belly dancing, but part of belly dancing is being sexy, and I don't feel sexy. I mean, for one thing, the costumes, the little bustier, you know, and then the bare stomach and the awesome little skirts and everything, and I wouldn't want to wear that. And even when I was younger, I'd always have to find kind of alternative costumes for what other girls were wearing, and that was embarrassing in and of itself.